welcome to the biggest wrestling pay-per-view event of the year, WrestleMania.
Oh boy, we're gonna see the Undertaker defeat someone?
And we're kicking off with Joe for defending his United States Championship.
Oh boy!
Yeah, because Joe had a remarkable run of luck with that title.
Oh god! Jesus, those graphics were a bit wonky up there.
When it comes to since the announcer only shows up for that one bit, they didn't bother polishing them out all that much. They prefer to focus their budget on making the wrestlers themselves look good.
Here we go, gentlemen. Huge title match coming up, and a huge.
Oh my god, it's that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy!
It's kind of...
Well, he wasn't Teenage
you mean
Mutant Ninja Turtles
Taserface?
No. Oh yeah, Taserface, yeah. I was gonna say it's more...
well, he wasn't Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Oh yeah, that too.
Well, another example, Dwibs, in these more modern games, is the crowd still 2D sprites, or are they actual models?
They're 3D models.
Oh, okay. They're very low-res ones, obviously, because, I mean, you can't have that many characters, and even then, probably only the ones in the front. The ones in the very far background, I'm pretty sure they're still 2D sprites. There's no way they bother to render character models for that.
Okay,
you can barely see them.
Okay, Joe. So you failed in the United States title match once against the Canadian. Let's hope you can beat an Irishman for the United States title.
Depends on what you put my settings to.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really feeling like eating a Snickers right now.
You don't say.
Oh, that's you're speaking of Snickers. That's recently become a bit of a running joke amongst the wrestling community. Because at WrestleMania back in 2018, there was a certain match that was going to happen that had the trophy being named after a deceased legendary wrestler by the name of the Fabulous Moolah. However, there's been a lot of controversy about her in recent years, none of which I'll go into here.
Hey yo, look who's back on track. I got the champion so back. After that time that it got lost after the match was rigged, yo, but I'm here to set the stage, to set the record straight. I'm the lawyer here who's ready to find the contradictions on this case, yo.
That's not gonna catch. But anyway, so some disgruntled fans called Snickers, and Snickers were like, we're not very happy, and so WWE just renamed the trophy to something that was a bit more generic. However, it's become a running joke that WWE fans will just call Snickers for any random thing that makes them unhappy, even if it's the kind of thing that's just, well, tough shit. Like, oh, I don't like the product, call Snickers, instead of just, not watching the thing.
Introducing the challenger from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 267 pounds, the Celtic warrior, Sheamus!
He certainly looks Celtic enough.
Open your eyes.
Introducing the champion from Rochester,
He doesn't need to do it. He can
Is
see
that a
it all
thing
with
in
his
Celtic
mind.
nations, Shiroi?
I'm pretty sure not.
Well, she's muted, but yeah, Ireland is a Celtic nation.
Just like Wales and Scotland.
Also, wild, Joey, if that title's floating in midair.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, just remember, not England.
Yeah, we're lonely on that front.
They kind of just latched on like they did to everyone.
Really?
Says the individual whose country likes nicking stuff from England, and not just TV shows.
Although
Well, that's the price you pay for tagging along with the Celts.
True.
Yeah, this is a computer AI controlled match, so I better not hear any complaining from you, Jover, if you lose.
What setting did you put me to?
I'm also starting to see the problem.
Yes.
Like, you see, Joe, but look at these Brits. They can't even get along within themselves, much less get along with the rest of Europe.
Makes
so
sense.
yeah, I guess yeah. It really
I'm not even gonna argue with you on that one. You've hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, like England seems to be forever in this rivalry with Scotland and Wales. Ireland
no,
seems
okay,
to...
okay. Scotland just hates everyone.
Really?
So
Wales. Well, our confrontations, between England and Wales, mostly involve rugby, and we've been trading
just
victories
egos.
a lot. We've been trading victories a lot recently.
Okay, audience, me and Jova would like to remind you all that me and Jova have said nothing, and this is all coming from the actual Brits in this group. So
Oh, don't
Yeah,
worry, we're not blaming you.
The views of individuals do not reflect the views of Squirm Comms in general.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Oh, damn, Jova, you are not doing well at all.
Gee, I wonder why. Oh.
Kicks out. Oh man, I don't know who to root for.
The match just barely started. Whee! So, wow, Jova can fly.
Why do I get the feeling I'm going to lose this match?
Jova took some inspiration from Rey Mysterio.
I remember Rey Mysterio losing all his matches.
No, I mean like that move in particular. That was clearly that's what move that Rey Mysterio in particular did a lot back in the day.
Aye, that looks painful.
Well, that's kind of the point.
See if he can keep it going. Winds up and lands the overhand punch. This is not going to end well for Sheamus.
Well, I'll say goodbye to your neck, I guess. Oh.
So, let me guess, you set my thing to easy again, didn't you?
No, I said it's a normal.
And the other two experts.
No, there's only one mode.
No, you can't have a CPU in expert fight a CPU in normal. That doesn't work. Everybody has to be at the same difficulty level.
Huh,
Oh.
interesting.
Ow.
In Smash you can do that, but not in these games.
I mean, yeah, in a lot of games. And what a shock! I lost.
In fact, I would.
Congratulations, Joe. You lost the United States title to yet another non-American.
Here is your winner.
Rigged.
Joe, you're such a whinger.
I mean, Dwibs, it's not the first time you've rigged a match against me.
You see, that's the thing. Every time America loses something, they claim it's rigged.
To be fair, were we wrong when we arrested FIFA when they were clearly doing that?
That
Oh, I
was
know.
years ago, Joe.
I rest my case. We had
Okay,
the...
and now he's
Recently
turned
he
against
sucks.
America. Okay.
Recently, you sucked so much you can't even qualify for the World Cup. So
Uh,
now Joe can add an Irishman to the list of who I lost US title matches to. Now it's Pedro's turn to defend his Intercontinental Championship.
Goody.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Intercontinental.
Have I mentioned that after this match, there will be free plastic surgery for everyone whose face is clearly messed up here, including my own?
Here's your opponent, the Legend Killer / the Viper / whatever, Randy Orton,
Oh, great, Randy Orton.
who is still with the company, funnily enough.
Yeah,
Been with
funnily,
him
he's
since
that. Yeah,
2002.
yeah, that's the interesting thing. He's probably one of the most faithful ones they've had in the 21st century.
Yeah, he's been with the company since 2002. And a little bit longer when you think about when you take into account how long he's been at WWE's development territories.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had this theme tune since 2008.
Wait. I can hear. So is it still? Oh God, what was the name? The whatever light. What was the name of his that song? That song where he, you know the one he used the most back in the day when he was after he left Evolution.
No, this isn't the same theme.
Is it the one by Kill Switch Engage?
No, it isn't.
Ah, never mind. Oh, so he has a new one. Oh, okay.
Well, he's had it since 2008.
Well, at least he's bothered to change the themes. I mean, seriously, I'm so tired of Cena always having the exact same theme song for how many years now?
since 2005, I think. Although he's not there. I don't think he's there anymore even now. He's a Hollywood guy.
That's the perfect. Well, this is not there anymore, I guess. But
Really?
that's
I
the
thought
thing.
it was still
That
there
also
in some
shows.
shape or form.
That's the thing, Dibs. It also shows how completely bland his characterization is, because like even the song itself reflects it. I mean, since he barely changes, why should even his theme song change? Because basically, the way.
Although his run in his later years in the company was apparently pretty good. When he started taking more of a back seat and just started doing stuff like round about what you normally see in the middle of the shows, not necessarily the main events.
Basically, Shiroi, every time, usually when a wrestler has an asshole phase, they usually change his theme song to something a bit more aggressive, you know. When the opposite happens, they usually change to a song that's more
sounding tune.
More positive. Well, it depends on the wrestler as well.
Zero's muted, so.
Okay.
You know, if she said it any more high pitched, only dogs would be able to hear it.
Well, it's kind of like Jova. Like for example, let's say. For example, like let's take Randy Orton here. Back in 2004, 2005, I forget the exact year. Randy Orton belonged to a certain faction of wrestlers that were assholes called Evolution, and then when he eventually got betrayed and left, he became the betrayed hero of sorts, you know.
Of course.
And after that, they changed his theme song to something more triumphant, you know, so that to help the to illustrate the fact that the audience is supposed to root for him now, you know. It's to make sure that the theme song fits the characterization, you know, to avoid stuff like the Steven Universe theme song, which, let's face it, doesn't fit the show anymore. Even Shiro said that.
Makes sense.
Alright, so I reduced the time limit of this match to 10 minutes.
Why do I get the feeling it's still gonna last longer than mine?
Well, because you suck.
I don't know, Jova. Like, considering it's Randy Orton, I'm pretty much a shoo-in for losing this one, I guess. Let me see. Oh.
Yeah.
Is this a normal match, Dwibs, or?
Yeah, normal.
Okay, so don't they show the counting numbers on the screen?
They do, but I just turn them off.
Oh, okay then. I always leave them on. It makes it easier to know.
Yeah, but this is more accurate to TV.
No, I get that. I think one thing that they could do is, instead of having big numbers on the center of the screen, I don't know if they still do that, but like have like small ones in one of the corners. You know, something that's less something that's more immersive, but at the same time it's easy to see. Instead of just because in the old ones, I don't know if they do that still anymore. When the counting was always just big numbers on the center of the screen, and it could be a bit distracting, to be fair.
Ow.
That looked like it hurt.
Yeah. Wow, you know, Pedro.
Well, at least I'm doing better, I guess.
I'm impressed, Pedro. You've recently you've been taking a lot to leaving your feet.
Well, get it? Because he's a heel, so of course he's going to use his heels.
Well, leaving his feet.
Remind me, Dwibs, at the time that this game was made, was Randy Orton heel or face?
Face.
Oh, okay, so it makes sense then.
So
He's
what do
heel
you?
now.
So what do you prefer? Heel face turns or face heel turns?
Both of them can be just as good. It depends on the execution.
Face heel turns are often the most entertaining.
Well,
yeah, true.
I guess that makes sense, you know, because villains by nature are, you know, a lot more outgoing. Not that heroes can't be. It's just like more often than not, heroes are the straight man to their villain.
Hell, a most recent example that's gone down really well was Daniel Bryan. He was retired from wrestling for a couple of years because of a severe injury he had, but recently that injury was healed up enough that he was able to return, and so he had a triumphant return in early 2018
As a
and was,
face?
and was an ultra mega baby face right up until that November when he turned heel when he cheated to win the WWE title.
Did he actually cheat, or was that just part of the script?
Well, part of the script.
Sometimes it's hard to tell with this sport.
And now his character.
Oh, Joe, but this is all scripted. So obviously, any cheating that goes on obviously is scripted.
Oh yeah, but I've heard of sometimes where they actually do go against script. Yes, it's rare, but you never know.
Anyway, his character now is of an egocentrical eco-arsehole.
So he tricked us all while his injuries were in play, I guess.
Well, no,
Joe.
No, his gimmick is that he's an evil environmentalist.
Oh,
Well, Joe,
God.
but the only way they usually improvise is if someone executes a move wrong by some mistake, or if someone gets seriously injured. That's really the only situations where they usually go. Usually these things are very well controlled and very well rehearsed. So
One thing that was funny was that when he won the WWE title, not too long after, he had a special version of it commissioned that was made out of eco-friendly material.
As for me, now the most important thing is not even regardless of turns. It's just the fact keep the characterization like varied. Don't just keep one character one note like they do with Cena. Because one of the big problems with Cena for me is that they kept one note for so long. It's always the same shtick. What was those 3 words? Those that you usually keep to say. It's not truth. Just
respect.
Yeah. Basically, Jova, they constantly kept him making him the super duper nice guy, truth, justice in the American way type of thing, and it's always the same thing, never change it, and it's so one note, and it got tired.
Well, again, no, I think that's kind of a moot complaint now, considering he's not.
Not now, I'm talking about like while he was there.
Admittedly, wouldn't that be more so the script doctor's fault as opposed to Cena's fault?
Well, true. I'm more complaining about the character himself, not the actor. When I say I don't like John Cena, I mean I don't like the character, not so much the. Although I will say that back when he first started at WWE, I would argue he didn't have that much charisma to begin with. If you ask me. However, fortunately, he has gotten better ever since he got into Hollywood. Like he actually gotten better at properly emoting and developing a more charismatic performance.
Oh yeah, he was good as Ferdinand, and he was great in Bumblebee.
Although, in terms of characterization, is a bit hypocritical on his part. He had a feud with The Rock earlier in the 2010s, where John Cena's big problem was that The Rock was such a megastar in Hollywood. He doesn't have time for wrestling anymore. Yet a few years later, John Cena started being in Hollywood. I mean, hell, one of the wrestlers who he was feuding with at the time called him out on it.
I mean, it's Hollywood. Like, of course he's not gonna have time for wrestling.
He's still not moving, guys. He might be
Pedro, not for nothing, but there's not much time left in the match. No time to be bragging.
Well, remind me, what happens if we're both still standing by the time it ends? Sudden death, right?
Nope, draw.
Oh yeah, draw. Well, if it's a draw, I keep my title. Well, if it's a draw, I get to keep my title anyway. So.
Well, you don't want a draw at WrestleMania.
Why not?
What matters is if I keep my title, Dwibs.
So what's wrong with?
Well, remember, Dwibs, I'm the heel. Remember, Dwibs, I'm the heel. I don't care about the audience. I just care about my title.
But shouldn't it be the hero who doesn't care about winning as long as they keep the title? Since then that means
No. The hero doesn't want to win under those circumstances, Joven.
No. The hero likes to, fight, fairly and with honor and all that shit. Whereas, look at me. See, I'm cheating. See, basically, you're not allowed to use the ropes to give you an advantage during cover because, and the referee didn't see, so he didn't disqualify me. What was I saying? Yeah. No, and as for heels, Jova, heels only care about one thing: preserve their title, no matter the cost.
Yeah, I mean they'll like The one thing I'm surprised heels don't do more often to try and keep their title. Get disqualified, like, immediately.
Well, that's the thing. Is remember there have been times where Triple H, for example, Triple H once tried something, or was it? No, Edge. I think it was Edge. Yeah, Edge once tried to do something like that back when he was the World Heavyweight Champion. However, it got to a point where the general manager had them have a no holds barred match or whatever it was, to avoid him intentionally disqualifying himself and stuff like that.
And there are occasions where they'll change the match so that if the champion gets himself intentionally disqualified or counted out, he'll lose the title.
Just to avoid that kind of foul play.
Yeah. Alright, 1 minute left. Who's gonna win?
About to be a draw.
There we go.
Yeah, I gotta say, you have a lot of heart for a heel.
Not really, Dwibs. I'm just really desperate to keep my title.
Are you sure that's not just you playing the lovable rogue?
He's a heel, Joe. He's not lovable.
I'm sure there's such a thing as a lovable
He's
heel.
about as lovable as his hairdo.
Ooh. Damn.
I mean, who wants to pull off the cage?
Oh, come on, Dwibs. What if David Cage is actually naturally, genuinely getting bald despite his control? Come on, that's not nice.
I don't know.
I mean, some people can pull off the bald look, like Michael
Oh,
Jordan.
by the way, the sound effect was added by me. It's not in the game.
Ah.
Can he finish him off here?
Come on.
Jason Alexander looks great with that hairdo, if you ask me. Like the George Costanza look looks fantastic on Jason Alexander, if you ask me. Like whenever I think Jason Alexander, I always think of him, as with there you go, kick my title.
Hell, Danny DeVito perfected that look.
See Joe,
Oh, Crash Tag Team Racing.
There you go, Joe. There you go, Joe. But turns out playing fair didn't get you anywhere.
Aw, Dwibs, I didn't know you were such a fan of that soundtrack after all.
It's the only track really I'm not into. The rest are just.
It's the only track I remember.
I've actually been listening to that track, and I'll admit it's actually a nice thing to listen to. Granted, it is definitely not my favorite Spiral Mouth Crash Bandicoot soundtrack. That honor still belongs to Crash Insanity.
It's not just Spiral Mouth. It was a collaborative effort with Mark Barrel, the in-house composer at Radical at the time.
It was kind of
Insanity
interesting.
soundtrack is so unique. It's amazing.
I know, right? Entirely done in a cappella. And considering some of the
With a lot of familiar melodies in there too, but it's still great.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, tag team title time.
Oh, of course, Tag Team Racing for tag team title time.
Yes.
The music made sense now.
And our opponents are the most over... Well, over's a term for popular. The most over team in WWE today, the New Day.
Well, I guess they look tough, I think.
Yeah. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, with the other member being Big E, who's not here. Kofi Kingston, as of the time of recording this, is the current WWE champion.
Oh, nice.
I'll give them that. They look quite fabulous, I guess.
Yeah, they've definitely got that
Xavier
theming
Woods,
down.
Xavier Woods runs in real life a gaming channel on YouTube called Up Up Down Down.
Huh.
Interesting.
Gotta get hip with the kids, Dwibs.
What about up, up, down, down, left, right, RL, and you know the rest?
That's too long a name. Alright, Jova. It's clear that these fans want the New Day to win.
Well, we may have to disappoint them as lawyers do in real life then.
Yeah. As soon as we come out.
Any minute now.
What are they talking about?
They're discussing their strategy, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay, so Jova's trying to get over his disappointment at losing the United States title earlier. Yeah, well, quite a couple of us are pulling double duty. Later on, I've got a world title match, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Real
Jova's got
busy.
Hey, Jova, at least you still got a title to defend.
Yes. And besides, just like last time, I'll get the title back.
Not at this WrestleMania, then.
But of course.
Maybe next time. Yeah, Apollo for best attorney.
Apollo in his wildest dreams.
Oh, hell yeah, front row. Yeah, SCWRM Tag Team Champions of the World.
Introducing the challengers. At a combined weight of 417 pounds, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The New Day.
Alright.
And introducing the champions. At a combined weight of 412 pounds, they are the Super
We're lighter than them.
Classic
Yes.
Worldwide Rated R Men's Tag Team Champions, the Terror, Dwayne, and number 1,
Oh, thank you.
the Coalition.
Yeah, the name Ace Attorneys isn't in there, so I just made up. I just picked one that they have called the Coalition. Well, it's a Brit working with an American, so
Makes sense. Although it's a shame that they don't allow you to put in custom names.
oh well. And it's a cage match. Hell in a Cell even.
Okay, guys, here we go. The title's on the line.
So yeah, basically.
The coalition. So yeah, you guys gonna cause trouble for Gears fans?
No,
Not
we're just
nearly as much.
We're just gonna cause trouble for the New Day.
With the chair again. Maybe this one will keep him down. Oh, he's really
Oh, you lent him your chair, I see.
not good at all.
Well, the chair's the best weapon. It's the lightest, but it can also pack a big punch.
That reminds me.
I wonder, when are they gonna add a frying pan to the mix?
That reminds me, Dwibs. After this, I have to show you the super cringy British hosts from inside Xbox. They're amazing.
They're great.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll show Jova then, because trust me, Jova, it's quite the spectacle.
That bad, huh?
Well, do you guys
Yes.
Do you guys want to do the next part after this? It's shorter than
Oh yeah,
No,
oh yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I meant after today's session.
okay.
Well, I gotta say, Dwibs, we're giving them a run for their money so far.
Well, I am. You're getting your ass kicked again.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you're playing as you.
I have to save your ass. And also, be careful, Jova. This is the match where it's not an elimination match. So the first person to get the pin wins the match for their team.
Sweet. Let's see if I can pin this guy then.
Whatever. Basically, Shiroi, while you were gone, I managed to retain my title by basically just waiting on the clock for it to end and without any defining conclusion to the match. So I basically cheated my way out of losing the title.
Huh.
At the same time, causing a riot across the whole state.
Well, that's the thing, Shiroi. Right now, I'm in heel, which means I'm characterized as a bad guy. So I played dirty. So.
Need some help there, Dwibs?
Well, stop showing off then.
Well, excuse me, I'm busy with this guy here. Don't worry, I'll save you like last time.
You know.
Well, it's a good thing that other dude is just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah,
like a moron.
seriously, what the heck? Dwibs, did you hypnotize him or something? Like, dang.
Yes, I bribed him with money.
Oh, so you're the tiger philanthropist then.
And I'm not as much of an arsehole. I'm assuming that individual is a heel.
I think
There you go,
so.
Joey. There you go, Joey. He helped you. What are you doing?
That is the theme of today. What are you doing?
Yeah, but Jova, there's a match to focus on. And besides, you're a face. How's that for a weird thing? A face/heel tag team.
Wait,
Well, it
you're a
depends,
heel?
Rebs.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah,
well, it
that's
depends.
right.
Sometimes there have been cocky faces. I mean, like Kurt Angle back in the
The Rock.
back in not just the Rock. Like one in particular ones that remember Angle managed to become face by giving the fans the idea of chanting "You suck" to his opponent rather than him.
Oh.
And remember when Randy Orton first left Evolution, he retained his cocky personality. He just stopped being as much of an asshole about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Woohoo! I have avenged the defeat, yo.
So hold on, there's still the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. So
Those aren't till later.
okay. So the next one, I'm guessing it's the Undertaker match for this WrestleMania.
Not in this part.
Okay.
Well, I
Which
must
is
say,
next? Is the pillow fight, or was this already banned from this game?
Well, not banned, but it's just no one does those anymore.
which is quite a shame. Like, dang, that's
Sorry,
kind of
Jabba, we can't do that. It's sexist.
tisk.
Hey,
Please.
pillows can hurt. Like, come on.
Well, if you whack them really, really hard.
Well, you put bricks in them.
Yeah. All in all, a successful tag title defense.
And one that didn't go out anticlimactic either.
And now it's Shiro's turn to defend her Squirm Women's title against Natalia, a member of the well-regarded Hart family.
Oh,
Eh?
okay then.
Well, the Hart family are a legendary wrestling family that includes people like Bret
Bret
Hart,
Hart.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, among others.
Basically,
Okay, then.
Jova, she's the daughter of royalty as far as the wrestling is concerned.
Interesting. So the Princess
Which,
of Wales versus...
which means, of course, Jova, that she has pressure to live up to her ancestors.
Uh-huh. Well, better
So-
hope that script sees fit to treat her well then, otherwise she's in for some disappointment. And why
Well,
is...
there's all-
Oh my god, and why is she cosplaying as Aqua from Kingdom Hearts?
That's actually her outfit.
I know, right? But it looks like a cosplay of Aqua.
I can see what you're talking
I
about, but
get
at the same time, I'm not really seeing it. It's like it has some those blue stripes but at the same time, aside from
And the
that,
way they're
not
arranged
really.
in a heart of sorts as well. So basically, this is what Aqua would dress like up if she grew a personality and decided to become a wrestler. So yeah, the Princess of Wales versus the Princess of Wrestling. This should be interesting.
One of them.
Oh yeah, she has a sister, doesn't she?
No.
Oh, so what do you
Not-
mean
not-
one
not-
of them then?
Not that I know of. I mean, in other families.
And introducing the champion from Swansea,
Swansea, Wales, the same place that Alex Hunter happens to be a great soccer player of.
Corey, what do you think of the champ's chances here tonight? I love him. I'm not like everybody else, Cole. It seems like everybody's ready to write the
Well, I gotta say, Shiroy, Swansea seems to be birthing a lot of champions between this and the journey.
And I'd say that she doesn't look even
The hell?
bit concerned.
What?
What?
Oh, yeah, on the related videos of this, I'm seeing the fall of Boogie 2988. Why he's losing subscribers? He's losing subscribers. I wasn't even aware of that.
That's YouTube related stuff for you. But yeah, he's losing subscribers. Anyway,
Was there some kind of controversy with him as well?
I'm guessing the video explains that, but we're not
The
here to look
name
at that
sounds
right now.
familiar.
He's like this. I think if I remember correctly, isn't he like a gamer? I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really familiar with his content, so.
Alright, well, let's concentrate on the task at hand here, guys.
Oh god, her
Women's
hair.
Championship.
Yeah, those hair physics are
Ugh.
interesting.
So much for money
and
on the models. Oh!
And Even better, guys. We're in a steel cage.
Which means it's all out here.
Yeah, well, it's different from Hell in a Cell. In that Hell in a Cell has a bit of overspill where you can go on the outside a bit. Here, you're stuck purely in the ring. The only way you can win is either by pinfall or submission, or by getting out of the cage.
There's not even a referee.
Guys, I want to discuss Natalia for a moment. With so much on the line, what should be the challenger's strategy in there?
This is the time to shine, Michael. So much on the line here.
Ooh, gut check.
Dream of being in this position.
Well, yeah, especially at an event like WrestleMania. The WWE's equivalent of, like, say, the FA Cup final.
I'm actually surprised there's no hair grabbing moves in this game.
Well, it's over, they could barely animate hair as is.
Oh, snap.
To be fair, animating hair in computers is regarded as one of the all-time great difficult tasks. Remember, Tangle had to create an entire new software specifically for rendering and animating Rapunzel's hair.
Because there was so much of it.
So I can understand that, you know, hair is just one of those really, really tricky things, let's say.
So, Shiori, Natalia seems to be focusing a lot on your back.
I know, right? She tried to bane you.
Maybe
She tried to what? Bane you?
Yeah, you know how Bane's famous for breaking
okay.
Batman's back.
I get it. I never heard it said like that, though. You've just been baned.
That's Bane. Robot.
Basically, Shirai, the joke is that Bane is a Batman villain who his most famous thing in the comics is that he actually manages to break Batman's back at one point.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
he's one of the first villains to genuinely make Bruce like almost like
He put
completely
Bruce
lose.
into temporary retirement, believe it or not. And the only reason Bruce came back was because the replacement he chose ended up to be a cockamania insane guy. Or maybe that was just a symptom of who he was being ridden by. Who knows.
Oh, here we go.
And Shiori wins the match.
Nicely done. You dominated her.
Where's
Oh,
your
that's
title?
Don't worry, there's it's somewhere in there.
Somewhat a fan stole it.
I love how Natalia is now suddenly lying on the floor, even though she wasn't when the match ended.
Huh.
She fainted in agony.
I guess. Wow, that happened. Moving on.
Yeah,
Also, Snickers.
of course.
Advertisement.
Anyway, join us for the final concluding part of this WrestleMania.
Yay!
Snickers.
It's bound to be a rip-roaring good time, folks, ladies and gentlemen.
It shall be now known, from now on, the pay-per-view should be known as WrestleMania and Snickers.
Snickersmania.
Well, no, the Snickers logo is right next to the WrestleMania logo, so clearly that's what is its name, WrestleMania and Snickers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
tune in next time for the rest of WrestleMania and Snickers.
You're just not you when you're hungry.